Welcome back to the Big Brown Sack.
We're back.
I thought that was going to be so rusty because we've been out of the game for 2 weeks.
Oh, no, you nailed that.
Right back at it. Natural.
You always nail that.
Thank you.
Honestly, that was some of the inspiration to even start this podcast at all. It's just how good you were at, you would say that around the house.
Yeah.
Before we even started doing this podcast.
Yeah, one night we just sat on the couch and we were like, man, I love sitting on this big brown sack. Something just clicked. I was like, that's it.
That's it. Well, this is season 2 of the Big Brown Sack podcast. So we're back from a little bit of a hiatus.
Yep. We didn't have a season 1 finale per se, but yeah, we're in season 2.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I went to Mexico. Dayna went to Mexico. Then you went to California.
Then I went to Arizona.
Then you went to Arizona.
I went to California.
So it was a logistics issue and, let's be honest, a laziness issue. We probably could have got some episodes out there, but
we could have.
Didn't feel like
There were a few opportunities where, yeah, we could have recorded and given you guys a little something, but distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Did it for you? Did it make your heart grow fonder of me?
Oh, I just meant like for our audience with the podcast.
Oh.
But yes.
I thought you were talking about me because you were actually traveling.
Yes. And the distance, of course, made my heart grow fonder.
Same. But I hope it's for our audience as well.
Yeah, our audience, we got a lot of messages. Hey, like, it's Sunday. Where's the episode?
Really? I didn't get any.
No,
okay.
I didn't get any.
I didn't get any either, dude. Fuck. Whatever, dude. Okay, so season 2 of the Big Brown Sack, it's going to be a little bit different than season 1, right, Dayna? It
is going to be different. We're going to have a lot more structure. So what you've seen from us in the past is us just trying to find our voice, and we still are. This podcast is going to morph and shape and mold into so many different things over the seasons. And this season, well, I'll have you explain it because this was entirely your idea.
Yeah, well, it all goes back to a quote that's near and dear to my heart, which is the Jimmy V speech. We've talked about it before, I think, on the podcast. But he gives this speech. He's about to die. He has cancer. It's his last public appearance. Super famous SB speech. He gets on stage and he says,
there are 3 things we all should do every day. If we do this every day of our life, you're going to have, what a wonderful, number 1 is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number 2 is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number 3 is you should have your emotions moved to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day.
Every day you should think, you should laugh, you should cry. What a full day that would be. I'm trying to do that for as many days as I have left. And it's this awesome speech that he gives. It's something I've talked about my whole life, and I was like, that would be cool to do a podcast kind of in that theme. And so we came up with this idea to each bring one thing to the podcast. We're going to try to keep it in 25, 30 minutes now, so much shorter episodes.
On the go.
I don't
on the
know.
Go,
yeah, and I don't know what Dayna's bringing. She doesn't know what I'm bringing. We each are bringing something that either made us think, made us laugh, or moved us. Doesn't have to make us cry, but
for me, it's probably gonna be me crying. But
maybe
hey, maybe not.
And it also kind of stems from an idea that I ask you this sometimes, and it stumps you a lot. Of what did you learn today?
Oh, dude, my mind goes completely blank.
Yeah.
When I'm put on the spot like that.
Well, I don't think it's just you.
Even when we were at dinner the other night, you were like, who's your favorite celebrity right now? And I was like, couldn't think of one celebrity.
Yeah, well,
Not
that's different. That's
name.
Different. That is different. But I think I choked. That is the whole different thing. But I think that most people, they get out of school and they kind of stop learning. You stop pushing yourself, you get comfortable in a job.
Intentional learning. I mean, everyone's learning every day because this life be crazy. But
true. Yeah,
intentional learning, or even just I learn a lot at work, but
you don't reflect on it.
I don't reflect on it, and thus forth, I'm not absorbing it.
Right.
So I am excited to go through my week and be a little bit more mindful about where am I contemplating, thinking, where am I laughing? And then, what's moving me? What's making me cry?
Yeah.
A lot these days is like really emotional TikToks are making me cry. So that's something to think about. Maybe I should
Maybe you should
work
delete
on
the
that.
app.
Maybe I should work on that. So yeah, I'm excited about this structure and form, and it was a great idea, and I know a good idea when I hear one, and I said yes. No notes.
So season 2, Big Brown Sack podcast, we're each going to bring one thing that either made us think, laugh, cry, something in between. And we want this to be the same old mindless hangout, have a good time with us on the sack, but also maybe learn something. It could be a good mix of a mindless podcast and, oh shit, I'm actually not wasting my time here.
Yeah, maybe.
These motherfuckers is on to something.
Yeah, little pressure there, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. That's my hope. So, do you want to start with the thing that you brought, or do you want me to start with the thing that I brought?
I'll start. Sure.
Okay, perfect.
Sir,
So, Dayna, did you think, laugh, or cry?
I thought this
Okay,
week
interesting.
I'd be thinking, and so there's two things that a lot of my free time are going to right now.
Mm-hmm.
The new season of Selling Sunset
Okay.
and Steve Martin's memoir.
I'm gonna make you pick one.
Nope, I'm talking about both of them because both of them have something in common
Oh,
that I've been thinking about.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Bet you didn't see that one coming.
Curveball.
If you don't know what Selling Sunset is,
Tell them really
you're
quick.
probably not listening to the podcast.
Really quick. Selling Sunset.
Selling Sunset is a reality TV show that streams on Netflix. I think it's on its 3rd season. Don't quote me. And it's a group of very fabulous, rich real estate agents in LA, Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and surrounding areas. There are, of course, clips of these insane houses, like $22 million and up, 10 million, from like 9 million,
They're really expensive houses.
from 5 million up.
People get it. Yeah. But what Dayna isn't telling you is...
And they're catty, dude. And there's drama and it's messy.
And they dress wildly inappropriate.
It's so insane. Titties like literally falling out.
Yeah, these girls are like all supermodels and they wear nothing.
Like to the workplace, to showings, to houses they're selling, to the office. It's fascinating. But that's not what's getting me thinking. Steve Martin.
Yep.
A lot of people who listen to this podcast probably most commonly know him from The Dad and Cheaper by the Dozen.
And you're probably thinking, what does Steve Martin have in common with a bunch of young, good-looking real estate agents who are female
That's right.
in the Los Angeles area?
Absolutely.
Who dress wildly inappropriate to work.
Yep. And you also may know Steve Martin from Selena Gomez's new show, Only Murders in the Building. He's also in that.
He's also in a super famous movie called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with John
Mm-hmm.
Candy. Like, the guy's a legend.
The guy is a legend. So I'm reading his book right now, which I'm going to pull up the title in case anyone wants to read it. Really easy
Born
read.
Standing Up, the book is called.
Born Standing Up. Thank you so much. And it talks about his coming up story. And he actually started his entertainment career working in a magic shop at Disneyland.
Whoa.
When
you
he
were
was
just
like
there.
16 or 17. I was just there. And I saw the magic shop and I walked in. So cute. I don't know if it's the same one, but there was a magic shop in like the main downtown.
Yeah, probably was the same one.
I hope so. I will try to confirm. And so I'm reading his book about how he came up to fame. He started as a stand-up comedian and now has been in incredible works, yada yada. And Selling Sunset and Steve Martin's Born Standing Up have a common theme that has really got me thinking these days. Both Steve Martin and these women are absurdly rich.
Okay, that's one thing.
In one part of this book, Steve Martin's talking about when he truly hit fame.
Yeah.
And he's selling like stadiums and arenas of like 45,000 people.
For stand-up? For stand-up comedy?
For stand-up comedy. Like, absurd.
Yeah.
And he's rolling in dough. He's rolling in dough. And these girls are very rich. They're wearing Gucci. They're wearing Prada. They're stunting on these hoes all day, every day.
But there's got to be something deeper here, no?
The women in this show, if you watch it, there are a few that stand out that are just like so obviously miserable with their lives and themselves.
Which ones? Would they name them for
Nicole,
the people that maybe watch?
For one, Nicole, you could just tell is just miserable, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like,
I watch with Dayna here and there, so I know I know
here
Nicole.
and there,
I
he's
hate
seen
Nicole.
every episode so far.
I hate Nicole.
Yeah, she's easy to hate because she hates herself, and you can tell.
You've been acting a little cracked out all night. Oh shit. Okay. You're a bitch. Wow.
And so she's miserable. All these other girls like make themselves miserable over like stupid shit. And
Well, that one girl was just saying that in the last episode. She's like, we all fucking cry over this dumbass shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, when you think you're like, you got the perfect body and you're gorgeous and you live in LA and you're on a reality TV show and you have seemingly a lot of success in this business that you're super passionate about and you seem to have everything and you're just fucking miserable.
Yeah. What is that?
What is that? That's what I've been thinking about. And then Steve Martin, when he was describing his time in his peak of fame, he said it was his loneliest period of his life. And when he had major like depressive spurts.
Weird.
And it's just fascinating to me because that's what he was working his whole life for. And he even said, I had more fame than I could even come to dream of or like imagine for myself.
Yeah.
I surpassed the peak that I was ever going for.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to quit because I had worked so hard. I will have to look up when exactly he became like at his peak famous, but I think it took him like 25 years
Yeah.
of like studying comedy and like being on the road and doing like shitty jobs and just like he said he basically has like 10 years of bombing. 10 or 15 years of just bombing everywhere he went.
Yeah.
It was crazy to
Kind
read.
of like the first season of Big Brown Sack.
That is, except for our episodes with our lovely guests.
That is true. That is true. But we've got time, is what I'm saying. We've got time.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got time.
Yeah.
Come back in 10 years. This thing might be decent.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just think it's, and you know, you hear like money doesn't make you, money doesn't buy happiness and fame doesn't buy happiness, but you always think like, kind of does, right? Like people do say that.
And it's a weird like oxymoron or weird like thing that doesn't make sense where you are having 45,000 people you say pay to see you and then saying that you're lonely.
Right.
It doesn't really add up.
It doesn't add up. Do you want to hear how he describes it and like why?
Yes.
So he describes it very beautifully. And if you put yourself in his shoes, it's like, okay, that's actually kind of jarring. So we would go out into these arenas, 45,000 people. We'll post a picture of what this looks like in the book. And then he says, and you know, I'll kill because I've got my tight act.
Yeah.
But when I'm just a little blob to people in the back, he can't really take comedic risks. And it really took the art out of comedy for him because he couldn't do little gestures anymore that used to work or ad lib or like do new things because he had to do what he'd know would work for the people way in the back. So it took a lot of the spontaneity out of his work. And then he immediately goes from the arena into a car. The car drops him off at the hotel. He gets walked into the hotel. opens a hotel room, and he's just staring at a blank hotel room after being in front of 45,000 people.
That's tough.
And he's alone.
That's tough.
And
yeah.
he doesn't have cell phones. Like, I don't think they had cell phones when this was happening.
Yeah.
So he couldn't call people, couldn't text, couldn't scroll through TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
He'd order room service, and he'd watch whatever was on TV in the hotel.
Howard Stern was just talking to Ed Sheeran about this, of like, how do you come down after such high highs? And like, I imagine stand-up is very similar to performing music in that way, where like the crowd is just feeding off of you, and you are rocking this place.
Yeah.
And then you just leave. And like you're running on such high adrenaline, and then what you're supposed to just like come down.
Yeah.
That is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Does kind of make sense. I mean, Justin Bieber has that Lonely song.
Yeah.
Where he kind of talks about it.
Yeah. And
The
Steve
Biebs.
Martin did say, he was like, I could have made it better for myself. I could have asked friends to come with me on the road at certain times. And there are things I could have done, but I didn't know how. And there were like depressive periods too. Then for these women, like for me, like
Oh yeah, how the hell do the Selling Sunset bitches get back into this story?
You're a bitch. Wow.
they're at like seemingly the peak of their lives, and they're still miserable.
Oh right.
And for me, I'm always like, oh, if I had bigger boobs or like better arms or like a flat or something. And these girls in Selling Sunset are ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like so hot. And I'm like, if I like had those features, like there are things I like about them that I'd want for me, I'd be like, I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy. Like nothing would ever bother me. I'd have no problems. But that's not true.
So in Steve Martin's case, great jokes. In the Selling Sunset case, great tits. Neither one brings you to true happiness.
Absolutely.
Is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. That is an interesting thought. Thank you so much for bringing that table. Do you want to
It's just something to think about, and I don't know how to conclude that. I'm just thinking,
what do
like,
you want people to take from that, I guess?
like you can achieve your greatest dreams. Like I think being on Selling Sunset and being that hot and being that rich could have very well all been their dreams. Like they're living out their dreams or a dream.
Certainly
potentially.
when they were children, if they're like, you're going to be on this show, you're going to be super rich, you're going to be super hot, like they probably would have been like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. And then of course Steve dreamed even greater than his dreams that he could have ever imagined. And I think everyone has this like ideal state for themselves. And it's like, even when you get there, you're not gonna feel the happiness or like satisfaction with your life that you think you're gonna feel. And so you just have to look inward and just know in any state you're always gonna have some sort of misery with you, because it's just like the way of life. And you're also gonna have some like joy and peaks in any stage that you're in. And so you're right where you need to be, baby. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
That was great, Dayna. I think that was a really good start to this season. And
Okay.
it's a great example of like a good topic that turned into good conversation. And it's a great point. Life has its ups and downs. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, how well you're doing, life's going to have its ups and downs. And
And it was just interesting that I could find some commonalities in the two pieces of entertainment that I'm giving my time to these days, watching the season of Selling Sunset, and then when I can't watch TV anymore, I'll read his book, and I'm like, they're
Yep.
not so different.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk? What do you got for us, Joe? Do you have something that you'd how do we open this?
I don't know. Give it a shot.
So, Joe, did you think, laugh, or cry this week?
I did all of those things, but what I want to talk about is something that made me laugh. And so I remember even just really laughing so hard at this earlier this week and being like, wow, I'm genuinely like cackling laughing.
Cool.
This would be perfect for the podcast. And it's a text message from my friend Garrett, and I'm going to ask him, and if he's cool with it, I'm going to actually put the screen grab video that he sent me of this text thread, and add it to the video portion of the podcast. But I'll walk you through it too.
Okay, this is my audience. This is my first time, or audience, Sackers. This is my first time listening to this, so
Yeah.
we're in this together. Let's just
Yeah.
try to
So
get through all these
Garrett-
words. I'm seeing a lot of words.
my
right
friend Garrett, who will be on the podcast actually
Yeah.
in a few weeks. So this is just a sneak peek at a guest we're going to have on soon. And this is a text message. I don't know if this has been happening to you at home or not, or even you, Dayna. Have you been getting like weird just spam texts lately? Like people just saying like, hey.
now. Yeah,
Or like weird shit.
yeah.
Well, so I think this is one of those examples.
Okay.
Just as a heads up. So Garrett gets this text message
From a random number.
from a random number.
Okay.
It says, "Hey Mike," so that's not Garrett's name. "Hey Mike, are you available at the moment? I'm at a meeting and limited to calls, but I'm good with texts if that works. I need you to handle a short, urgent task. Thanks, Fred Jordan." And then Garrett writes back, "Please confirm last initial of the mic you're trying to reach." And the person writes back, "LOL, why won't I know your full name? I have a presentation in a few. I need you to physically go to an Apple store, Target, or Walmart and purchase me an Apple gift card certificate. I need the card's barcodes for a presentation here right now. I would reimburse you when I am through. Let me know if you could help with that right now.
Yeah,
Thanks."
right.
So yeah, right?
Yeah.
But instead of just ghosting the person
Yeah.
like a normal person would, or blocking the number or something, Garrett writes back, "Haha, good point. Where's the presentation? I can probably run them to you right now." So he's like knowingly that this is a scam, but messing with the person at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so the person writes back and they're like, "Fuck yeah, I've got this person on the hook." And they write back, "I need 5 to 10 cards. I can only advise on the denomination what the store has. What store do you have in mind?" "I'm in Target right now," Garrett says. "What are the denominations?" And he says, $25 to $50 chilies. I can get $100 to $500 Applebee's card. And the guy says, Apple gift card. And then Garrett says, "Applebee's, got it." And then the person writes, "Not Applebee's, Apple gift card. Ask in the store. You will be directed there."
Oh, please.
Garrett writes back, "Right, Applebee's. I'll get 10 for 50 each." And the person writes back, "Not Applebee's. Take a picture of the rack." Garrett takes a picture of the rack. And then the person edits the
No.
picture, circles the Apple gift cards and says, "This is the Apple gift card. That's iTunes. It's also the same thing as Apple. Get the iTunes." And then Garrett writes back, "I might have to go directly to the Applebee's. They don't have Applebee's iTunes." Here. Oh my god. And then he circles the picture again and says, "Get that, 10 cards, 50 each." He says, "How about 50 cards at 10 each?" He says, "That'll be too much. Just get as I said." He says, "Okay." This is so much Applebee's.
Oh my god.
And he says, "My favorite is the Jack Daniel's baby back ribs. I have the gift cards." And the person writes, "I don't need that. Just get the iTunes as I said. Keep me posted after the purchase. I've got them. Where's the presentation? I can come right now. Take out each card from the package and take images revealing the barcode and
what?
hold on to the receipt for reimbursement." Oh, okay. He sends them the picture of the Applebee's gift cards. "What's this? I got 50 of these for $10. What you said." And then the person's probably just like, "Fuck it, I'll just take the Applebee's fucking gift cards." And says, "Send all of them." And then he says, "OMG, Fred, you will not believe this, Fred." And someone, just and then he basically just goes full crazy. Garrett goes full crazy.
Wait, I want more. I'm not done with this. I want more.
Well, it gets
okay, so he's just fucking with this guy. So this guy, to take an intermission,
Oh my gosh.
this guy, random guy, texted Garrett to try as if he thought his name was Mike, trying to get him to buy gift cards and send him all the gift card information.
I think it's like a phishing thing because Garrett's dad's name is Mike.
Yeah.
And so you know how like sometimes we
I
get
get that
emails
too.
like
It's
for
like, hey,
work, it's like
Don,
your
yeah.
CEO
Yeah.
or something. Like I've gotten emails that'll say like my CEO's name.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey Joe, this is
Yeah.
and it's the company I work for CEO.
That's just
And I'm like, oh,
honestly,
whoa.
this isn't even like a good scheme. I'm kind of
No,
like,
it's not a good scheme at all. But there's like
which is,
old
like,
people out
funny
there
why
that'll
he's, like,
fall for this
fucking
shit.
with him.
Honestly,
That's so sad.
there is, I think my mom knows someone who used to like run a gamut like this. And they said it's mostly like old people that fall for it. What? What are you laughing at?
Last few texts.
Oh
You
yeah, I don't
wanna
even want to read
them?
it on the pod. Garrett basically just like rubs it in the guy's face.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You
Like, you
idiot.
stupid ass.
You stupid ass.
And I
Yeah.
love that. Honestly, Garrett, I respect this so much because waste their time.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not spending the time they are giving effort and energy to you and texting you back on scamming other people. I think he's fighting the good fight.
That, and I think what I want you to take from this one is, I mean, this made me laugh so hard.
This is so funny.
Honestly, it made my day the other day.
So funny.
And I'm not saying like reply to scammers.
No.
But I'm saying like look for ways to make your friends laugh. Like he could have easily not replied to that, but Garrett is the type of guy who is always looking for ways to like be funny.
Uh-huh.
And I mean in this case like fuck over a shitty person, which is like a double good thing.
Whammy, yeah.
Like you said, but it just made me laugh so hard, and I love having friends like Garrett in my life that are like sending me stuff like this, and even at our ripe ages of our late 20s, still doing things like this to make each other laugh is so awesome. So don't lose that kid in you.
I love
Don't
that.
lose that fucking kid in you.
Never. Not here. Mm-mm.
That's it. That's what made me laugh this week. Garrett, shout out to you, man. You're hilarious.
I love that. Don't lose that about yourself. Speaking of not, staying a kid, I went to Disneyland and I straight up tried to use my imagination and I tried to pretend. I did the Nemo ride, and it's like you get in a submarine and it's kind of submerged underwater.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes black for a second, like all black. You can't see down there.
Wow.
And I totally just tried to pretend like I was actually in a submarine, like down in the ocean.
You have such a good imagination like that.
I really tried to pretend. It lasted like 10 seconds though, and I was like, but I'm really not like down there.
You always do stuff like that.
But like
Remember
for
in
a second I was like down like in the Atlantic Ocean, like in the trenches or something.
Yeah, dude. I remember recently you were in the hot tub and you had your face out of the hot tub, but you put your ears under.
Yeah.
And you told me to do it. You go, put your ears under and then imagine you're in a spaceship. Because it's like the jets
It
and
literally
stuff.
sounds exactly like it would if you were like time traveling through space. Next time you guys
Yeah.
are in a hot tub, go under with all the jets turned on high.
Be silly, folks. Be silly.
Crazy.
Never stop being silly. That's what I want you to take from this.
Mm-hmm.
Never stop being silly, folks. What I'm taking from what you shared about the relationship between the Selling Sunset ladies and Steve Martin is that you have to work for your happiness no matter what. And there's another Jim Carrey quote that says something like, I hope everyone can achieve their dreams and riches because they'll find out that that's not the answer.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I probably messed it up, but it's
That sounded really good.
That's the message essentially, is like, I wish everybody could be as successful as I have been and achieve all their wildest dreams, because you'll realize that that's not the answer to happiness. And it's not, because happiness takes work no matter what.
No matter what.
And
no
you
matter
have
where you
to
are,
protect
how
it.
much
You-
money you have,
You have to
how
work
good
on your
you look,
Mhm.
who your friends are.
Yes.
Yes!
You have to protect your happiness. You have to work on your happiness actively for it to survive. And that's what I took from your thing. And my takeaway is don't lose your inner child.
Yeah.
But what did you take from mine? Same. Something diff?
It's interesting. So Garrett is like he takes risks, big rewards, right? Especially for the bit. And he'll definitely overexert himself for the bit, which I always appreciate.
Yeah. Also, another good example. We'll talk to Garrett about this when we have him on. So maybe I shouldn't even say it, but an example of Garrett taking something too far is him basically staying in character for Macho Man Randy Savage the whole Halloween weekend we were in Nashville.
Yeah.
We spent Halloween in Nashville last summer, or not summer, fall, with Garrett, and he was Randy Savage, and he talked like Randy Savage for 24 hours straight. Yeah. Anyways, love you, Garrett. Love
We're
Selling
so excited.
Sunset.
That's a little sneak peek of Garrett.
That's a
He'll
little
be on the
sneak peek.
podcast in 2 weeks' time. So you're going to get to know him a lot more, and it's probably going to be some of our best stuff yet.
Some of our best stuff yet. This is the first episode of season 2 of Big Brown Sack. I think it's episode like 14 total. Thanks for riding with us. Let us know what you think about the new structure.
The new
nice word.
The relaunch, the
relaunch
agenda.
Yeah, the rebrand,
and ultimately,
should we come up with like a new logo and shit too? No.
Nah.
Too lazy
It's gonna
for
change
that
all
shit.
the time. So like we'll just keep it the sack and
Yeah. Well, this is BBS season 2, episode 15. Thanks for riding with us. We're back, folks. We'll try to do another 12, 13 episodes over the next 12, 13 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe change up again. But
Yeah,
until
who
then,
knows? Till then, this is what you're getting. We hope you sackers have a great week and think, laugh, and cry, and you're living a good life.
yeah. See you later.